Hi, this is speaker and illusionist Jason Bishop, and I'm going to show you a brief piece of magic using just a Rubik's Cube. Now, Rubik's Cube actually literally translates from the old Russian to stocking stuffer from 1985. That's what it means. And we all know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, but we all know the hardest part of solving a Rubik's Cube is putting each sticker back on exactly straight. They must be exactly straight. They say if you can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than 5 minutes, you're likely a genius, but if you can solve it in under 1 minute, it's a proven fact you've never had a girlfriend in your life. So, sorry about that. But I cannot solve a Rubik's Cube the way they tell you to, by twisting and turning said cube in the prescribed manner they tell you to in all the YouTube videos and manuals. But if you watch closely, I can create the illusion this is solved, and it's going to happen a lot quicker than you can possibly imagine, just like that. Bam. I have here a very old original iPod Touch. I find that I can do the oddest thing with this. I have just a few apps inside of it, and clearly if I turn it to the side, you can see it's less than a ½ inch thick. If I turn it to the rear, you can see it says iPod, and there's the Apple sign, and yet there's something inside of this iPod Touch that should not be able to fit. If I give it a little shake, you can see there he is, a little friend of mine. And if I grab some food, I can actually drop the food inside, just like that, and he eats it up. And if I turn him on his side, then he swims out of the iPod, into my hand, where he becomes completely 100% invisible. And then real, just like that. I want to show you right now one of the first pieces of magic that I learned how to do. And then I'm going to teach you every step of the way exactly how I do it so that you can go home and fool your family members and friends and loved ones. So this is called the amazing red piece of paper of breakfast and levitation. Here we go. So it starts with a red piece of paper. You unfold the red piece of paper and show it front and back and front again, just like this. We take this and push it into our hand, into the tightest wad of paper that we can make it into. Show this hand empty, like that. Take the piece of paper, place it over here. Show this hand empty. Reach in to my little secret pouch over here, grab some magic pixie dust. Sprinkle, sprinkle, squeeze, squeeze, and then little by little, slowly, that changes into a white chicken's egg, just like that. Now, so that's the red piece of paper of breakfast. Here comes the levitation part. Watch closely. Now, how is it done? This egg is not real. There's a hole in the back of the egg, and you just push the piece of paper inside like that. And this is the best part, because this is the part where I can hear people in the audience at home going, oh, I know how that's so dumb. He just pushes it inside there. Who could that possibly fool? Probably you 45 seconds ago. That's who it could fool. So anyway, you just push the piece of paper inside of there. And the levitation part, you have to watch your angles sometimes, because from the front, it's a miracle. You're like, oh, but from the side, it's dumb. It looks like that. That's it. That's all there is. So from the front, it's like, oh, you can fool people. From the side, it's embarrassing. So anyway, so that's that. So you put one piece of paper away secretly. You put a fake egg away secretly. Maybe you have some other pieces of paper inside of there. When you put something away secretly in magic, that's called loading or hiding or secreting. You reach in, you take out one of your pieces of paper, and as you do that, you secretly take out the fake egg like this. That's called acquiring or making a steal. Next, you unfold the piece of paper. You show the paper front and back and front again. This is called proving or acquitting. You keep the egg concealed in your hand away from the audience like this. That's called clipping, or you know it as palming. And when I was a young magician, I used to work on this all the time. I'd go down to the local candy store, and I would clip and palm all day long. Clip, 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 palm, palm, palm. I was stealing. No, just kidding. But you show it front and back, keep the egg concealed there. Take the piece of paper and slowly push it into the hole that's in the egg. And there is a term for this too. It's a 16th century French term. We still use it to this day. It's called slowly pushing the piece of paper into the hole that is in the egg. It's a beautiful language. And then you show this hand empty. It really is empty. Take your soon-to-be aiguille, Place it over here. Do not accidentally overturn your hand like that. In magic, that's called flashing. You place this over there just like that. You pretend to grab your magic pixie dust, sprinkle, sprinkle, squeeze, squeeze, and then little by little show that you have your white egg just like that. These eggs are pretty inexpensive. You can get them online, or you could use a ball if it's a small enough ball and conceal it in your hand. Now you do not want to overturn your hand like this and expose the back of the egg. That's bad. Again, that's called flashing. And if you do accidentally expose that hole there, don't freak out, don't panic. Just grab that hole and just sort of peel it off like that and just get rid of it like that. And if people still don't believe your magic, take your fake ceramic or plastic egg and just lay it gently next to a glass like that. Yeah, go like this. Bam. I want to show you one of the pieces of magic that I do a lot of times at my show. It uses the simplest props, just a pencil and a toothbrush, a bottle of Gatorade, as well as a pack of playing cards and a pack of crayons, but there's only one crayon inside of there. This piece was actually inspired by my trips to Alaska and Colorado, where I was exposed to rock cairns. These are little stacks of rocks that are used to mark trails. And this led way to rock balancing, where people just balance. You've probably seen it on YouTube or in photos where these rocks are just balanced in impossible ways. And that's what inspired this piece of magic. Now, sometimes these stacks, these cairns, basically make sense. But other times, if you remove just one piece, it completely defies gravity, just like that. I've never lost a game of Jenga in my life. I've also never played a game of Jenga in my life. How do I get this down? This time we're going to use something that everybody has around the office or the house, just some rubber bands. So I've got 2 tan rubber bands here. It could be done with any color rubber band. About this size works really well. And I'll just show you a few pieces of rubber band magic, and then I'm going to actually teach you how to do this. So the first piece of rubber band magic, we take the 2 rubber bands like this. They go on my index fingers and thumbs, just like that. And no matter how much I pull or twist or turn, the rubber bands stay locked one behind the other, just like that. Unless I rub just right, then I can slowly melt one rubber band right through the other, just like that. And I'll do that again. So one behind the other, there's no question about it. You can see as I pull and twist, like I said, just like that. But again, it's rubbing and just hitting that sweet spot right there where they melt right through. Another fun one is this, where a lot of people think when I do this, my hands move apart. They don't, but watch this rubber band down here as it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. It just begins to move on its own, almost floating up the other rubber band, just like that. Now here's the last one. I'm going to amaze you with it first, then I'm going to teach you. This rubber band right here goes on my index finger and thumb right there, and it suddenly just jumps from this side over to that side, just like that. And I'll do it again, but this time I'll make it even more difficult. I'll use two. So one here, but this one gets interlaced around my fingertips, creating sort of a barrier so that this rubber band here couldn't possibly go from this side over to that side, just like that. And here's how this little trick is done. They are two normal rubber bands. You can use any rubber band about this size, like I said. When you take this rubber band and you place it on your two fingers here, you really are doing that. But as you stretch it to show it and turn it, you actually tuck all of your fingers into the rubber band, just like that. When you release your hands quickly, it just jumps to the other two fingers and you come back very quickly. The motion is very quick. It doesn't really rely on a lot of tricky techniques or sleight of hand on your part. There's just one little move. So you place the rubber band on your index finger and middle finger like that. You move the rubber band, stretching it, showing that it's strong and complete. There's no breaks in it. And then you just stretch it and tuck all of your fingertips in there. You see the front remains the same. It looks as if only that portion of the rubber band is around there. But from the rear, it's actually that the rubber band is on all of your fingertips right there. And then you show it from the front. You quickly flick your fingers up and it jumps over to the other side like that. Now, this is a slightly more advanced move to show the barrier like this. You place the rubber band on there. You create the barrier just like this. But the funny thing about this is there really is no barrier because this is the only piece that would pass through this rubber band, but it doesn't pass through. It's really a pivot point going around to the other two fingers just like that. So it's just pivoting around. So the exact same thing. You place this on here, show the rubber band, put your fingertips in, nothing different about that, pop, and now they're over there past the barrier just like that. So that is a very easy rubber band trick that you can learn to do and amaze your friends and family at home and at work.